Hello and welcome. Subscribe to earn drops. Mate, I'm sorry, but no one is subscribing to get a Duolingo premium subscription. That app is horrible. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to something quite a bit different, but not actually that different. At the start of this year, and for the previous year, I used to do this thing where I would do watch-alongs. Let me just check this is all working. Yeah, I would do watch-alongs of all of the F1 sessions, you know? Like, obviously your practice and your qualifying and all that. I thought today I would bring that back by watching Practice 1 here at Singapore. Now, in my recent streams in the last few days, I have had so many comments. I've been inundated with comments saying that I have the voice of a commentator and that I should be a broadcaster or a pundit. And I thought, you know what, today will be a great test to see if that's actually true. So, we're here. I usually use a website called F1 Dash, but unfortunately there's a little bit of a problem right now with the way F1 shares or, broadcasts the information. Here you can see the track and the timing and all that. So I found this other website. I don't know if it's any good. I don't even know if it's gonna work. But we're gonna give it a go. I also don't even know if I'm here on time. I don't actually know because it keeps saying that it's at 10:30 in the morning. But this might just be a waste of time, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Don't be surprised if I just randomly get offline. I've also just not... Hang on, I need to sort this out. I've not done any of my, chats or anything. This is awful. Hang on, horrible streamer alert. Let me just check real quick. F1 Singapore. So when I go on Singapore... It does say... Okay, I can confirm Practice 1 is actually starting soon. I just thought Singapore, because Singapore is so far away from England, and it's not that near, but it's kind of near to, your Japans and your Chinas and your Australias. For all of those races, all of the practice sessions and qualifying in the race were all in the middle of the night. I think, Australia was like 2 in the morning, Japan was 4 in the morning, and China was 6 in the morning. So I thought Singapore would be kind of similar, maybe either it would be a bit earlier, so 10 p.m, or a bit later and be about 9 a.m. But no, it's actually, 10:30. So it's actually normal time for a European race, so obviously the time difference ain't that bad. Although I suppose it is a night race, which does help, obviously, because it's a night race, they're going to do everything a few hours later. So that's probably why... So yeah, let me do me thing. Let me set up my chats. Hang about. Oh, this is horrible. Wait, let me do it with my other hand. That'll probably help, wouldn't it? Yeah, Singapore is a night race, to be fair, so it's going to be a few hours later. So I'm just wondering, if it was a normal time, it'd be very early, wouldn't it? It'd be 5 a.m. It's so difficult to do. I'm just going to sit like this for a second so I can actually put my chats in the correct position. You can also see behind me, I've got the signed shirt on. Shout out Carlos Sainz. That just didn't show my shirt at all. That's just horrible from me. Just give me a second. Hang on. So usually I would have done all this before I started, but I was in a bit of a rush. Alright, there we go. That should be good. Now, I like I said, I have no idea if this website's going to work. I just sort of found it randomly. I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I've also noticed almost immediately my entire thing has changed. So there is going to be maybe 10 or so minutes of like a little adjustment period where I do have to go and, you know, change everything round and stuff like that. Let me move that to there and then move that in, and I could make it bigger. Do that. There we go. As always, let me know if there's any problems with the audio or video, and I think we're ready. So we do have a couple of drivers leaving the pits, but I can't see them on the track, so I'm going to assume that isn't working right now, which is fine because, you know, yeah. I will, at some point, probably just after the stream ends, I'll leave a link to this website, because it's quite good. Well, it seems alright. It seems the same as the other one. Oh shit, oh my god. It's going horribly wrong. I'll put the timer on, but the timer is a bit out of date. But that's fine. Okay. So yeah, this is basically a complete test, because I do want to get back into doing watch-alongs. You can still use multiplayer for overlays of F1 races. What do you mean by that? Yes, it definitely doesn't seem like the track works. So we'll just have to bin that bit off and go from there, really. But we could still see some stuff. We can see the tyres, we can see the sector times. I suppose that's fun. But yeah, this is basically just a test for, like, if I was to do tomorrow's quali, for example, or the race, then yeah. I'm also very tired, so I'm probably going to be a bit slow today. Slower than I normally am. And then, of course, you have to keep in mind it is practice, and it is going to be very boring. Like, very boring. Enough of that, mate. Cheers. Right. Oh, hang on. Oh, you get team radios as well. Oh, fair enough. Am I allowed to play the team radios? I'm not too sure. I love the idea that I've been live for 8 minutes and there's already been someone trying to type, you know, the N-word, which is it's just unbelievable what people are like. It is outrageous. But yeah, practice is extremely boring. It always is. Practice 2 ain't too bad because, of course, you know, they do a lot of quali simulations, and because the track isn't working, it's a bit, you know, it's even more boring than usual. But of course, the track you can only see on my landscape stream. On the short stream, it's just the ladder thing, so I suppose that's good enough. Liam Lawson currently fastest by 1,000th over Nico Hulkenberg. Where can I watch the F1 practice for free? I don't know any. There is going to be somewhere you can pirate it. There always is for literally anything, but I wouldn't know. Because, well, to be fair, I've never really had to look. I've always had Sky Sports, so I just watch it on Sky Sports. I know this isn't free. Actually, no, it's far from free. And it might be kind of illegal. And I was going to suggest, because I've done it with a couple things, is use a VPN to go to, like, a place with, you know, real... I mean, it depends where you're from, though. Because, like, in my case, I got F1 TV, and I VPN'd to Turkey, because a pound to a lira, I think that's their currency, is really, like bad. As in, like, £1 is, like, 0.0001. Turkish currency. So what it meant is that I could buy a year of F1 TV for like £5, and obviously I not only get every single race, but I also get it with much better commentary, not the horrible commentators, in my opinion at least, of David Croft and Brundle and all the rest. But yeah, unfortunately, 3, I don't really know. I'm considering doing a refresh of the website, but I feel like that wouldn't really achieve much. There is a couple things more on here that you can, you know, get info on that I'm not showing. We've got track temperature, we've got air temperature, we've got humidity, of course. Singapore is like the, you know, the biggest sweat box on the calendar. Like, you can probably die if you sit around here too long. 73% humidity, that is probably, you know, about what it is in England right now. It's quite insane. Come on, Hamilton. I usually don't really care where Hamilton finishes or how he gets on, but I really do hope that he has, like, an incredibly good weekend. You know, maybe not a win, that might be a bit too far, but you never know. It is one of his best tracks, at least in my opinion. But just like a podium, because he hasn't got a podium for Ferrari yet, has he? I know he won the sprint race, but that's not really... No one takes that seriously, especially considering since then he's done, like, nothing. But yeah. The way I saw Hamilton definitely changed massively because of what happened with Roscoe, because... Basically just because I know what it feels like, so I feel like that sort of resonated with him a bit, and yeah, now I usually, like I said, I don't really care where he finishes, like with most of the drivers, but I'd like to see him do well now. Of course, big weekend for Norris, but probably one of the biggest of the season, because he kind of bottled his opportunity to get back at Oscar at Baku. And, well, in my opinion at least, if Lando doesn't win this race, or at the very least beat Oscar, his title chances are gone. I know there's many races left, and one DNF could change the entire thing, but I feel like there's going to be momentum after this, you know? Hamilton's my fave, and Max, genuinely. Well, to be fair, you're not the only one that likes both of them too. I like both of them too. I think Max Verstappen is probably my 3rd favourite driver of all time, but it's like I always say on my other streams and stuff, there are no drivers that I dislike, or, you know, I sit there and think, I hate you, I really don't like you, I hate listening to you. No, because it's just not that deep. At the end of the day, pretty much all the drivers are just normal people, and, you know, they're just people. So what I'm trying to say is, I like them both as well. I like every driver. I like Russell, but I do enjoy seeing him do bad, because it is funny. But, I like him. And, yeah. I will say F1 Twitter is a very, like, strange place for me because of that. So many people care so much about, like, drivers' relationships, and, you know, there are people on Twitter that genuinely hate some of the drivers for no apparent reason. Like, people hate Norris for no reason. They just sort of do because it's like an agenda. The whole, like, Twitter space of F1 is insane with how, like, deep people get into it. Loki spitting facts. I feel like it's just... Can't really say a correct take, but it's like, yeah, I've just never thought that deep. At the end of the day, I'm just watching the best drivers in the world drive the fastest cars in the world around a track. I don't really care about what they're like. Unless you do a Kimi Raikkonen, when that bit of a touchy subject. You're right, Solar. I'm surprised I've even got people watching right now, considering I'm doing something technically completely different. I know it's still Formula 1, but, you know, it's like a different category. It's a different thing entirely. But I do hope that this is successful, because I really did enjoy doing my watch-alongs and doing commentary, like, not a year ago, but, like, earlier this year. I remember for 3 weeks straight, I stayed up all night, every night, because I had Australia followed by Japan and China. So back-to-back-to-back race weekends, I was staying up all night and, like, watching quali. I don't think I'll ever return to that level of dedication, because that is ridiculous. He deserves hate? But what for, though? He hasn't done anything. If you were talking about Norris, that is, which, that's who I've been talking about, so I assume that is. Yeah, that's the thing, like, none of them, I don't know. I know people hate Stroll, because sometimes he's a bit of a prick, and he obviously shouldn't be in Formula 1, but, like, I don't know. I just don't think that deep, pretty much. I was here yesterday. I think I remember you, King. To be fair, I get loads of people knocking about these days, but I think I do remember a King. And also, you're right, Sharma. I'm not going to try and pronounce your first name because I feel like that would just be offensive to you, and I'm sorry. I can't... Any name that isn't, like, John or, like, Daniel, I just can't pronounce. But yeah, we are now 10 minutes or so in the session. My time is actually quite accurate, to be fair. It's only about 10 seconds off. That's pretty good, considering I didn't even know when it started. We have Lando Norris leading the way on hard tyres ahead of Fernando Alonso. Alonso, you know, being up there, that would be great. I like Alonso. I really like Alonso. So, you know, seeing him cook, that would be great. I said you're a good driver. Yeah. You know, I do remember. Yeah, definitely. Now you've said that, absolutely. Yeah. Well then. Anything surprising so far? I guess not, because it's 10 minutes into practice. Good times? It is good times indeed. 36 degrees track temperature, 29 degrees air temperature. I know it's like midday, but that doesn't seem too high. Considering it's about 26, not right now, but it's been 26 in England. I feel like 29 ain't that bad. But of course, it gets really stupid hot. And of course, to be fair, they are sitting in cars with no ventilation, sitting behind or in front of an extremely hot engine. Do you like football? I do indeed, I love football. I watch football every week. And every now and again I do go. So yeah, got Lando Norris leading. 2 tenths over Alonso. 1 minute 33. Do you know what I want to look at? Where's my mobile phone? I want to see what last year's practice 1 lap times were. That's what I like doing before. I like to compare lap times, because I do think this year the cars are way faster than last year. At least that's what I remember. So if I do Singapore 2024... Yep, I don't care who won. I know who won. It was Lando Norris, because I remember. I want to see FP1. 31.7. So we are currently a second and a half of last year's fastest. I don't think that's too bad, as Piastri goes even quicker than Lando. And actually, Sainz is knocked up to P2. Go on, son. What team do you support? West Ham United, the mighty Irons, except we're really shit. But go on the Nuno. We believe in the boy. Tuned in late? I've been live like 15 minutes. I wouldn't really call that late. But I hope Sainz gets on well. I really do enjoy seeing Williams up the top. That just seems good. Alex Albon hasn't even come out yet, which is quite interesting. Gaps are also quite close as well. Only about 1 or 2 tenths between each driver. Fernando Alonso currently with 2 purple sectors. Ugh, I like the sound of that. Medium tyres, to be fair, but... You know, it's still purple sectors. He is in an Aston Martin as well, which is not a great car right now. Hope Sainz gets another massive weekend. I do too. I hope both of the Williams are up there, but Sainz especially, because he's had a tough year. You know, just being a bit mid. Especially compared to Albon. And then Baku just... His confidence must have done just a straight 90-degree turn up. I'm hoping for a Gasly podium. I need to cure my depression. I'm sorry to, like, break your heart. Gasly ain't doing shit. That Alpine is probably the worst car on the grid right now, I think is fair to say. By quite some distance as well. Yeah. I mean, you can maybe say Haas is down there, but I feel like even Haas can get into, like, the top 12 every now and again. As Alonso also, I didn't even, you know, mention the fact, you know, he finished his lap, but after 2 purple sectors, he goes fastest by half a second. That's a lot. So, a 31.7 was the quickest lap from last year. We're already down to a 32.6, and we're only 10 minutes in. So we're a quarter of the way through, and we're only, well, yeah, we're under a second away already. So, I'm expecting that that's going to get smashed. Most likely. How old am I? I am 19. I don't know why I said it like that. 19. Get Gazzy to a top team strat. or stat. I do think that pretty much every driver right now is like the best you can get. As in, like, people that are currently unemployed that don't have a seat, I don't think they'd replace any of the current drivers, except obviously for, like, Stroll. But where do you put Gasly? Because the only place you can go that's technically, is a top team, is the second Red Bull. But why would you want to do that again? It already went wrong once. It's probably going to go wrong again. Do you like the game Fortnite? Absolutely not, no. We have a yellow, double yellow in Sector 13, whatever that means, and the DRS is going crazy. And it's also clear, so we've had someone go off. Unfortunately, the track isn't working, so I can't tell you who. Do you know what? I'm really thick. Do you know what I could have done? I could have just put Now TV. That's where I watch, like, F1, like Sky Sports. I could just watch that on my other computer and I could just tell you what's happening. That's a much better idea. What's your favourite driver? By far, Checo Perez, and then Jenson Button. So, let's word it as in, like, you got Perez there, and then, like, 10 miles back is Jenson Button, and then it's, like, 100 miles back to, like, Max Verstappen. Like, there's a large gap between my favoritisms. Who locks? I don't know. Let me actually... I don't know where I'm going to put it, because there's no... my screen's covered with chat messages, but I can definitely get it up. I also should definitely do what I said earlier. I've got a VPN. I should VPN and get F1 TV on the cheap, and then I'll be able to... I think, like, really good. I should do that. Do you watch GT3 or Le Mans? I don't. Purely because I don't know where to watch it. And some of the things is, like, subscription based, and I don't really want to spend money right now. So the answer to your question is no, I don't. Alright, let me... There's no way I can make it this small. I actually can. Oh, wow. Okay, fair enough. That is unbelievably tiny. The little baby Formula 1, look at that. That'll do. Decent. Okay, now we're cooking. What's happened there? Oh, that's why. What's your favourite Formula 1 team? I don't really have one. I mean, obviously, in a few months it will be Cadillac. But right now, I don't have a favourite. I suppose if I had to pick one, I would say Ferrari. But I also like... Basically, I like the top 3 teams. Actually, no. Yeah, surely Mercedes top 3. Actually, yeah, Mercedes definitely top 3. Ferrari's 4th. But I like Ferrari. I like McLaren. I like Red Bull. I don't like Mercedes. And then the rest of them are just sort of there. This guy is 100% homosexual. I wonder why you say that. That's a bit of a weird thing to say. I'm a GT3 and I like the stream and I subscribe to you. I definitely will. I definitely will watch GT3 as soon as I find a way to watch it that's, like, a good way. And same thing with Le Mans. I also want to start watching IndyCar and I also want to watch a bit of rallying. Do you ever check out Multi-Viewer for overlays? I don't remember. I think I did. It's just, it was really complicated to set up, and overall it just didn't seem worth it. God bless Checo Perez, absolutely. What country do you live? I'm from England. Well... You asked where I live, not where I'm from, but England. I was born in England. I've never left England. And I might never will, you never know. That's a lie, actually. I've been to Switzerland once. Lovely country, lovely place. Much better than here. Right, let's get a little update going, though. We are now 20 minutes into the session. Lando Norris has retaken the fastest lap of 42.3. That's his last lap. What's his best lap? 32.5. So we're still 9/10 off, or 8/10 off last year's fastest time. But we are on the hard tyres still. So as soon as we get onto the mediums, or even the softs, I reckon we will blitz those lap times. Verstappen also only 200ths behind as well. Not bad. Alonso within a 10th, although to be fair, he is on the mediums. Everyone around him is on hards. Quite a large gap between Hamilton and Leclerc, look. Half a second nearly. That is a lot. That is a lot of time, really, when you think about it. At least the McLaren's still P1, and it is the McLaren I prefer as well. Like I was saying, this is a massive weekend for Lando. In my opinion, this will not... It won't decide the championship, but I feel like it will shape the momentum of the championship. I feel like whoever wins, or whoever does best, Piastri or Norris, will go on to win. And Norris is starting well. You know, he's P1 right now. Piastri's way down. But also, I'd rather Norris win. So, I want him to do well. Purely because he's English, basically. If he wasn't English, I probably wouldn't care who won. Go to Silverstone for a race next month. Maybe I should compete in the top 10. Oh no, you're winning. Because I said so. Alpine ruining Gasly's career. They actually are. Do you know what's even worse? He just signed a contract extension as well. That is awful for him. He signs a contract extension and Alpine have gone, oh, we obviously just don't have to try with the car anymore because we'll have our driver. Although, to be fair, Alpine, they are getting their Mercedes engine next year, and Mercedes is widely known now that they're going to have the best engine, so that should help them out a bit. I don't think it'll make much impact, because, you know, we've got Cadillac coming in, we've got Audi, who are going to take over Sauber. It's not, I'll be honest, I don't think it's looking that good for Haas. I hope I'm wrong, because I like Ollie Behrman a lot, but there's not really any signs of them, like, getting a massive boost up the rankings. Hi, stranger, you right, mate? Hello, fellow stranger. Alpine claimed another victim. They actually did. They've got a like crazy career kill count. They've done Colapinto in, because I mean, to be fair, it's Colapinto's fault. He keeps crashing, and I remember it was really funny. He made a statement after crashing in like Baku or something, and said like, I'd rather go fast and crash than go slow. And then everyone was just saying, but you're not fast and you crash, so what's your point? And I thought that was so funny because it is kind of true. And I don't mind Colapinto. I just feel like it's crazy that Colapinto has been allowed to stay for the rest of the season when he's doing, in my opinion, worse than Jack Doohan, who only got 2 races. So you're going to race with Max Verstappen? Well, you get second then. That's not bad. The engine is only the part that matters. Imagine the Alpine is like the most aero-inefficient car. The engine wouldn't matter. Oh no, I understand that. I know the car will probably be a shitbox and it will just be not like good to drive and it'll be slow. But I'm just saying, if they had like the worst engine, which I don't know, there's only going to be 3 engines now. There's going to be Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull, which is, you know, Red Bull Ford or RBPT, whatever it's called. If they had the worst one, which is probably like what, Ferrari? I don't actually know. Then they'd be really in trouble. But I'm thinking the Mercedes engine might make their car be a bit better than it should be. How am I? I am fantastic. I'm very tired. I've had the shits all night because I'm ill. But, you know, we're chilling. We're here for practice. Doing a little test stream, seeing if it all works for qualifying tomorrow. And you're doing great. Hope you're doing good yourself. Gasly's move to extend his Alpine contract is like this quote: it isn't a stupid plan as long as it works. Yeah, it's true. Justice for Doohan, I completely agree. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jack Doohan wasn't much better than Colapinto. He did crash a couple times, and he wasn't very quick. However, to only give Jack Doohan like 3 races, or 2 races, and then get Colapinto, who is just as bad, or not even just as bad, but it's the same level, but you keep him for the whole season, seems a bit unfair. How old am I? I am 19. I feel like, you know, Doohan actually had his career ruined, because as far as I'm aware, he isn't even in contention for the Alpine seat next year. You alright, Frederick? Petition for Doohan to be Caddy's reserve. I'm pretty sure, isn't Pietro Fittipaldi Cadillac's reserve? Is it Pietro? Or is it Enzo? Or is it another one? I don't know. There's so many Fittipaldis nowadays. It's like there's like 60 of them, and they're all in motor racing. It's the one that raced in 2020 Bahrain in place of Grosjean. I think no, I don't remember. How do you know so much about racing? I would say because in 2021, my life was basically waking up and then watching any piece of media, whether it was a tweet, a YouTube video, F1 TV or anything, and just watching it. I only have knowledge in Formula 1 though. I don't really have a clue about anything else, but I'm hoping to change that soon, because like I said, I'm going to watch GT, going to watch an IndyCar, going to watch, you know, endurance racing and all that. I know quite a bit about Formula 1, at least I think I do, but nothing else, unfortunately. Go to the gym while you race. What did you have for breakfast? I had some raspberries. Go to the gym. Alright, mate. Lando Norris still leading, although everyone's in the pits now. I wonder if there's any weather changes going on. Don't know. Although we are nearly halfway through. It's going pretty quick, to be fair. Feels like it hasn't been that long. See what David Croft, whoever's waffling on about. Yep, surprise. I unmute Sky Sports for 10 seconds. It's just Ted Kravitz talking bollocks. What a surprise. How he has stayed in that job for that long genuinely astounds me, because I think all of them are so annoying to listen to, because they're a bit like me. They just don't shut up. Why Max is doing GT3, not F1 right now, I am confused. No, he's doing both. And the only reason he can do both is because there's a gap in between the races. When he was at the Nordschleife, it's because there was a 2-week break between Baku and Singapore. Was it Baku and Singapore? Or was it the one before that? Whatever it was, he can only do it because there's a gap. If there wasn't a gap, and there was F1, of course he has to do F1. But I imagine Red Bull's contract is a little bit lenient in terms of like allowing him to go and do other things, because of course when he was in GT3, that was also, you know, a Red Bull car. I think it was a Ferrari, but it had all Red Bull on it. So. Back with Singapore, yeah. Basically just whenever he's free, do you know what I mean? I mean, that man lives and breathes racing, as we know. If he's not in Formula 1, he's in GT3. If he's not in GT3, he's on the sim doing a 12 hours of Spa or something. Your favourite driver? Sergio Tequila Checo Perez. He cracked all the records of Green Hell yesterday. That's why all the drivers... Yeah. It does feel like Verstappen can just get in any mobile, any vehicle, and he'll just instantly be quick at it. Which I guess is just instincts, really, of just driving. I've gotten to the point where Gasly gets P13 and above, I'll be happy. Pretty much, yeah. That is a good standard to set for yourself, because I don't see Alpine getting higher than that. It was his team's car, that's why I had Red Bull on it, not because it was a Red Bull car. Yeah, it was a Team Red... Was it Team Redline car? Probably, yeah. That's really cool of that, though. The fact that he was, like, part of this sim racing team, and now it's, like, an actual racing team as well alongside is quite cool. How am I? I'm very good, Grace. I hope you're doing good yourself. Yeah, you know, it does feel like Verstappen can getting anything. Like, he'll probably tomorrow, like, he'll finish qualifying, go home, get on a flight to, like, America, drive an IndyCar, get pole, win, fly back, win at Singapore. That's what it feels like. What's my favourite car? In Formula 1, the 2019 Toro Rosso, in real life, like, as in normal everyday cars, don't really have one because I don't really know. I've not really thought about it, to be honest. I've never gave a real fuck about F1, but the way you're carrying this convo got me interested. It's the first time anyone said that. Usually I'm just boring and talk too much. How many hours a week do you stream? A week, I would say 21. I'd say my average is 3 hours a day, but, you know, it's like today's going to be very short because it's just practice. Yesterday was like 2 hours, but some days it's like 3.5 hours. Basically just what I'm getting up to. You know, sometimes I'm doing the career mode on the F1 game, that takes like 3 hours, or I'm doing this, which takes like an hour. But yeah, I'd say 21 hours a week is a good average, because obviously it's every day, but that isn't all I do. I do spend, I'd say, another 4 or 5 hours a day just making other F1 content in general. What do you do for a living? I do nothing for a living. For now, anyway. Carlos Sainz goes fastest. I love to see that. I want to see the McLarens on the mediums because I feel like it's just going to be dumb. There's only going to be 3 different engines in F1. Is that going to be good? Well, to be fair, there's only 4 now, and the 4th one is only used by 1 team, so nothing's really changing. It's just Alpine's using Mercedes, and because of that, the Renault engine is no longer a thing. I don't really know. I'm not too sure. I mean, 3 engines spread across 10 teams is not... It's quite a low ratio, but... I don't know. What am I? I am a Formula 1 streamer. And a big human. Also, of course, all the current engine suppliers are teams as well. I wonder, like... how, what would you say, financially able? I'm not too sure, but how it might be for a team like, you know, like Porsche or BMW or like a brand to come in and just be an engine supplier. How do you survive if you do nothing for a living? You live with your parents. It's not really that hard to understand. Maybe I'm the first race car driver to enjoy your stream. I don't know if it was the first. I know there was someone else that I think they drove like BMWs or something, but it is quite cool to think that there are people that are driving like actual cars that listen and watch someone that can't even drive in real life. They must be so proud. Fuck off, Paul. Like, genuinely. I like your content, keep going, keep the negative vibes out. I mean, it's just sort of part and parcel of streaming. You're always going to have bad eggs. You know, just people being pricks for no real reason. Passing the financial burden on them too? No. Actually, no. Anything I own from this, I usually give to them anyway. So how about you fuck off, because it doesn't concern you. My mum and dad have spent so many hours researching and like trying to help me do this. So yeah, they're cool with it, and that's all that matters. Work is calling, hope to catch a stream later today. There might be a chance I won't be doing one later today because I'm fucking knackered, but we'll see. You stop with the low IQ questions. They're just strange, irrelevant comments that don't really mean anything. It's like when people tell me to, like, go to the gym. It's like, why are you telling me what to do? Like, whatever I do doesn't concern you. Do you know what I mean? And I'd rather, at the end of the day, I'm doing a stream, and I'm just doing a stream because I want to, and I have the time to, and I'm just trying to stream some Formula 1, and that's it. So, you know, if you don't like what I'm doing, or if you got a problem with me, for the love of all that's holy, please just get your finger on your phone and just go like that and scroll to the next person. And, like, go bother someone else, because it's just a bit cringe, if I'm honest. Back to the racing? Exactly, back to the racing. We now have loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of drivers popping on the soft tyres. which makes me very happy, because we should see some very fast lap times. What are max chances of winning the championship? I genuinely, realistically, I think it's like 0, because the gap's just too large. I'll be preparing for a league race, I'll see you tomorrow. League racing is really tough for me. I did 400 laps of Silverstone in preparation for a league race. I did get pole position, but I spun on lap 1. And because there ain't no flashbacks, finished like 11th. I didn't like my league racing career. Greetings from Monaco. You're from Monaco? That's so cool. Rip Roscoe indeed. That was very sad. I think it's a bit sadder when, you know, you've lost pets yourself, because you know how it feels, you know? Because obviously I knew Roscoe. It's just, well, not personally, but I've seen the odd picture of him, but that was about it. But yeah, it was very sad. Greetings from Singapore. We've got everyone here. From all over the world. But, yeah. I feel like the McLarens... I think Monza was, like, the first race they haven't been the fastest. And Norris said himself, this ain't even me, this is Norris, saying that in Baku they should have been fastest, but just sort of messed up a few things, i.e. strategy and the pit stop and all that kind of thing. Also qualifying. I mean, Lando says that they had the best car in Baku, and yet he qualified, what, 7th? From Australia? I get a lot of Australian viewers, which is always completely bonkers to me. Because, isn't it like the middle of the night? Or, you know, at the very least, like the early morning or something. Isn't it like 10 PM in Australia right now? Watching Lando Norris go around, I want to see how is this compared to this. And by that I mean the Sky Sports broadcast and me live timing. I think... Hang on, how long's left? 22 minutes. That's got 20... Oh, wow. This is 2 minutes ahead? Jeez Louise. It's 8 PM Eastern, 6 PM Western. Oh. I thought it was like... I thought it was like a 10-11 hour difference. There's only like a... Well, fair enough then. Hope you're having a nice evening. Did you play Forza Horizon 5? I did play Forza Horizon 5 many moons ago on me very, very old original Xbox One, which hasn't been used in about 2 years. Very, very excited for Forza Horizon 6, because I just like them games and I want to play that really bad. But yeah, for once, for the first time, I think ever, the Sky Sports broadcast is quicker than the live timing, which is remarkable, because usually it's the other way around. So I'll delay this, because I can do that now. Shout out computers. Six Eastern right now. Yeah, it would be... Yeah, obviously it's... I don't know how time zones work. I thought there was definitely more than a 7-hour difference between here and, like, East Australia, but... Fair enough. Charles Leclerc has popped in a 31.2, which means we have officially beaten last year's quickest lap. And in fact, last year's quickest lap in Practice 1 was Charlie, and he's gone half a second quicker than himself. I know I said these cars were faster than last year, but that is ridiculous. Isn't it? Do you think Leclerc can ever win a championship? This might be a common answer. I feel like if you ask anyone, they'll probably say the same thing. He's only going to win one if he leaves Ferrari. Like, I don't care, like, how long it's been or what goes on. I don't see Ferrari being a title contender for ages. Like, ages and ages and ages. So I feel like his only chance is to leave Ferrari, go win with, like, McLaren, and then come back. I want to be an F1 driver, but I became a GT3 racer. It's so shit. To be honest, I know I'm completely different, but I would be happy just to be racing in general, because it costs a lot and it takes a lot of dedication and, you know, discipline and all that, and obviously talent, which are 3 things I don't have. Not with Ferrari, yeah. He's got no chance with Ferrari. I think 2022 was his best chance, and he made a few mistakes, the team made a few mistakes, and then the car got shit. And then 2024, the car was okay, but the McLaren was also quite good, and so was the Red Bull for most of the year. But yeah, with Ferrari, he's got no hope. So, Leclerc, if you're listening, which I know you're not, bin off Ferrari. I know you love Ferrari. I know the Ferrari fans love you. And your only achievement in Formula 1 is you want to win the championship for Ferrari, but for your own sake, he's got to go McLaren, really, isn't he? I mean, that's kind of the rumour right now, that Leclerc's going to swap with Piastri. So obviously Leclerc goes to McLaren, Piastri goes to Ferrari. And people were saying, like, why would you drop Piastri instead of Norris? Because Piastri's better. But then you got to think, Norris is like their poster boy. You know, he's English, McLaren's English, he's probably on like a really expensive contract, he brings loads of money, so... If they were going to drop a driver, no matter of skill, they're going to drop Piastri, but... I doubt that even happens, to be honest. I do think Leclerc will probably stay at Ferrari until the end of time, or the end of his career at the very least. What about Hamilton? I'd be very surprised if he gets anywhere near another championship. Just because Ferrari are shit, and his teammate's probably the best teammate he's had in his career. I do think Leclerc is better than Rosberg. I think Leclerc is better than Bottas. I think Leclerc... Maybe apart from Alonso. Yeah. I think apart from Alonso, this is the best teammate Hamilton's had. Some people might even say that Leclerc's better than Alonso, which I disagree with. And also, that Hamilton was like... It's like his second year and his first year when he was teammates with him. But the point is, he's going to have to beat Leclerc, which nowadays, I don't know if he's got that in him. Maybe a few years ago, absolutely, like 2021. If we had 2021 Lewis Hamilton, now, I think he could do it. But not anymore. Maybe not. Colapinto hits the wall a little bit. Shock. He needs to stop overdriving. I think Jacques Villeneuve said it. Colapinto overdrives so much. And I know I can't criticise him because he's driving a Formula 1 car, earning millions a year. Meanwhile, I'm sat on my ass, earning, like, barely anything. But, and just watching him. But I will say, like, I think the reason he crashes so much is because he tries too hard to go faster. So, like, he goes quicker, or no, he tries to go quicker than, you know, the car can. Maybe he wouldn't crash so much if he was in a top car that could handle what he's trying to do, but... I mean, he's crashed in practices, he crashes in quali, he crashes in the race. He crashed in a tyre test! You're not even meant to go fast! What time is it in England right now? It is 11:15 in the morning. Leclerc has been in that car since 2018. Lewis has 70% of his points first year. Look at Sainz versus Albon. Sainz has 10% of his points. Lewis will be fine next year when everyone's in new cars. I agree with that, yeah. I'm just saying that if there is a time when Ferrari are title contenders, Lewis ain't guaranteed winning because he's got Leclerc to compete with. That's what I was trying to say. 11:13. You have smashed it, to be fair. I mean, it's 11:14 now, but you were right. Lando Norris with the fastest Sector 2 crosses the line. Doesn't improve. Don't improve. He doesn't. He's on soft tyres as well, and he's 3 tenths behind. Wasn't expecting that. Lewis's only chance for an 8th is next year, biologically. Biologically is crazy, but you are right. It is probably do or die next year. To be fair, do you think Hamilton went to Ferrari thinking he was going to win one? Because I don't think he did. I think he went to Ferrari because, you know, he probably ain't got that many years left. And he wanted, you know, if you get the chance to drive for Ferrari, you're gonna. Although, of course, he is like all the other drivers. If he can win, and he's going to try his best to win. It's just, I feel like if he doesn't... Hang on, what? Oh, I thought as I said that Hamilton crashed then because his name faded out, but I feel like if Hamilton doesn't win a championship with Ferrari, he isn't gonna... He's gonna care, but he's not gonna, like, grumble about it. A bit like Vettel, because like obviously Vettel, he just wanted to win with Ferrari so bad. And then obviously Germany 2018 happened and it would have been wrong. Who are you supporting? No one really. I mean, some drivers I'd like to do well, but I don't really care that much. Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, Sainz, Alonso, Behrman, Albon, probably that kind of list. Biologically, what do you mean his reflexes are getting slow? I don't think his reflexes are getting slower. He's just, he's getting on a bit. He is, what, 40 now? I mean, Alonso's proved that you can sort of be any age, maybe until the cap of, like, 50 and you can drive, but, yeah. Hamilton went for the bag, legacy and future business. He needed that before he completely lost his edge. Couldn't have worded it better myself. Like, to be fair, Hamilton doesn't even have to win a championship. If he can just win one Grand Prix with Ferrari, I feel like his legacy gets boosted quite a lot. Because I feel like with... the only example I can give is because of, like, it's the one I remember most, is Sergio Perez. With his last sort of 2 years at Red Bull, because they were so bad, it made his... people feel like... People look at his career and think he was that bad for all of his career. And I feel like that's what Hamilton doesn't want. If he stinks up the gap at Ferrari, like, even worse than what he's doing now, he's not doing bad, but it's not great. If he somehow does worse, people are just going to remember him for just being shit at Ferrari. Because, especially nowadays, there's a lot of, like, recency bias going on. Like, you can win 7 championships in a row, your 8th year's rotten, and they just discredit what you've done. At least that's what I've learned from Twitter, which I know Twitter is just incredibly toxic. But yeah. Rip Roscoe, indeed, Rip Roscoe. Will you be racing later tonight? Probably not. I'll be honest. Yeah. I have no idea, though. I might be, I might not be. It's only just if the stream goes live, pretty much. Lando for the championship? I agree. I want Lando to win. Like I said, purely because he's British. If he wasn't British, I don't think I would care who would win. And that's like, genuinely, like, if he wasn't British, because obviously I'm British, so I'm going to support him. Whether it was Oscar, whether it was Lando, I wouldn't care. I just want it to be entertaining. To be fair, it's not really been that entertaining. I suppose when you get a championship battle that's between 2 drivers of the same team, it's not going to be. Go to school. Unfortunately, school's over. You get through primary school, you get through secondary school, you go through college, and then, you might go back to uni if you want, but I chose not to, for now anyway, so I'm too old for that. I have Oscar for Australia? Exactly. And that's perfectly, makes sense. Is Hamilton going to make a comeback in 2026? I think he will. I still think it'll be pretty much... I think, at best, Hamilton's going to be equal with Leclerc in terms of, like, the race head-to-head and the quali head-to-head and the gaps and things. Because sometimes this year, Hamilton's been, like, half a second behind Leclerc. And I think there's been 1 or 2 occasions when Leclerc has been half a second behind Hamilton, but it is a very rare, instance. What is with these depressed 50-year-olds? People just like I've been streaming for, like, 11 years or something. And what I've learned is part and parcel of showing your face and showing your personality online is no matter what, someone is going to say something. And the reason they say something is because they are so... I won't say miserable, that might be a bit extreme, but they're let down with themselves. So rather than working on themselves, they insult others to make themselves feel better. And the people who do say things will be in denial about that. They'll say, well, that just isn't the case, but it is. People start because they're unhappy with themselves, so they take it out on others. He can make more money streaming F1 than you ever did. Hopefully one day. I mean, people can, like, insult me for it, call me a loser, and all that bollocks, because I don't mind saying that, apart from the very appreciated donations, I don't earn anything from YouTube. Like, I don't mind saying that. It's just, hopefully one day, though. I mean, that is the end goal. Like I always said, I've got maybe 1, at most 2 more years to, like, commit to doing this. And if it doesn't work out, which it most likely won't, then whatever. If it does, bang, dream job got, carry on. And we go from there. Lando is getting thrown under the bus this year, like his car is exploding every now and then, and Oscar hasn't had a mechanical failure. I definitely don't think there's any favoritism. I feel like that's the media and F1 Twitter just trying to start things. I definitely don't think there is. I feel like the DNF at Zandvoort was just extremely unlucky. And apparently it wasn't to do with the engine, it was to do with the chassis or something, I don't remember. Basically, McLaren said it was like something like Lando went over a curb and it broke something, but I don't know. To be honest, I know I just said people like to start things, but that does seem a bit dodgy, but I don't think there's any favoritism, you know? What's the point? Like, what do you gain from making Lando a world champion over Oscar, or vice versa? At the end of the day, you've still won the Constructors, and one of your drivers have won the Drivers, so what's the big issue? What car do I own? I have it, well, I don't, because I can't drive, but my family has a Jeep Avenger, which I'm hoping soon I'll do me driving lessons, get me driver's license, and I can start whizzing about in it. It's very big, though. It's like a massive SUV. Well, it's not that big, but yeah. 17 minutes remaining. Oh, actually, I'll say that. The time is actually frozen. Why has it done that, then? Let me, Yep, that done the trick, and I refresh and look at... Hang on. Oh, you're kidding. So you're telling me this whole time the track was working? I just had to refresh the page. Fantastic. Well, the updates I can give, as you can see, Fernando Alonso's fastest, which is a very, very, very surprising. Fair play to him. What team do you support? West Ham United, if you... Oh, wait. Why am I going to football? It's because someone earlier asked about football. I'm sorry. I think it has to be Ferrari. I don't support a team because Checo Perez doesn't drive for them. Like, last year it was Red Bull. This year it's no one. Next year it'll be Cadillac. No more gibbering, plus. So you'd rather I just do this? Is that better? Is that great? I own a 720S and a 911 GT2 RS. You got rewarded from GT3. I'll tell you what. I don't remember who it was. It might have been you, but someone asked me what my favourite car was. I think a Porsche 911 GT3 RS is probably my favourite car, so I am very jealous about that. Do we have a stoppage? Or is Bortoletto? I think Bortoletto was stoppaged. Oh no, he's still going. Fair play. So just wherever Perez is? Exactly, yeah. Wherever Perez is. Although, like I said, if I had to pick one on the current grid, I'd say Ferrari. I own a Hot Wheels car. That's great. Anyway, go away. I can't spell provisional. Provisional's a tough word. You're from London? I am from London, indeed. Well done. Well identified. I think you're the first person in, like, literally thousands that have guessed where I'm from. I do love the idea, though, that I'm actively streaming, which involves talking, and people would rather me not talk. That's just so random. I know I talk a lot, but like if you're watching a streamer and you don't want them to talk, why are you watching a streamer? Just go watch it yourself. Weird. Oh, because I said West Ham. Oh, to be fair, you've absolutely smashed it there, to be fair. I forgot I said that, but yeah. I live probably 10 minutes away from West Ham Stadium. basically next door to their old stadium. R.I.P. Upton Park, what a place. I only went to Upton Park once, because, to be fair, when they moved, I was 10. Yeah. You doing FP2? Depends if I'm awake, to be honest. I've been awake all night with the shits, because I've got a little stomach bug. So I don't know, we'll see. I might be. Just random people scrolling through shorts. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I'm so happy with, like, the success of all my recent streams. But realistically, most of them people, I'd even say, I don't know how many people are watching right now on YouTube Shorts, but I would say probably 95% of them don't even know what F1 is. Or maybe even more than that. It's just, obviously, the way the YouTube Shorts algorithm works is that you keep scrolling, and you just get shown random things. And obviously, people just randomly see my stream, and then they just carry on. It's just those people that they have this insane amount of determination to say something. I mean, I'd say I used to, spend about 2 hours a day scrolling through YouTube Shorts. Luckily, I don't do that anymore, because it's just a waste of time. But every time I come across a streamer, I would just keep scrolling. So I don't know. You like West Ham? I do love West Ham, yes. Can you talk with your mouth? Yeah, not your throat, mate. Don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but alright. Five minutes left of this practice session. Alex Albon is still not doing a lap. American. Well, we're playing the random word game now. Most of these people hating don't even understand the table on the bottom half. No, like I said, most people hate because they hate themselves. So they take it out on others. And I'm quite easy to target because there's a lot of things to target about me. So, yeah. I think he's making fun of your accent. Yeah, but what does it mean, though? I'm going to think about it no more, because it's just a waste of thought. I discovered your channel because you did F1 24 My Team while everyone focused on driver career. Really? I mean, I've never really watched any other F1 YouTubers, but was I really one of the only ones doing My Team? To be fair, My Team has been rinsed so bad in recent years that maybe that, no one else is doing it. Out of all British people, why him? Yeah, that is true. I feel like I have watched, or no, I haven't watched, but I've been scrolling past and seen quite a few other F1 YouTubers that I've never even heard of. And they don't get any comments. It's just me. So, you know what? Maybe I'm just special. W channel, thanks, mate. Do your thing. That's the idea. The thing that I've learnt most over the last 3 weeks is just ignorance. Like, just ignore people. 99% of hate comments is rage bait. So you either agree with them or you ignore them. And it works pretty well. Is this Q3? No, this is the end of practice 1. Qualifying is tomorrow, which, to be honest, this has all worked pretty well, I think. So I will probably do a quali stream tomorrow, which, of course, this was just a test to see if, like, the overlays worked and all of that. Whereas tomorrow, we've got quali, which I can actually, be a bit more exciting because there's actually, like, meaningful things happening rather than just Alex Albon driving around on the same set of hards for the 66th time. I love the British, their accent and their humour. Our humour is basically summed up in sarcasm. It's basically just being sarcastic, which, it works. I got this cool Lego F1 car the other day, the McLaren MP44. I have a mate that's got one of them. I've got one of them as well. I've got the, it's the Aston Martin from this year or last year, and I still can't build it because I'm too thick. However, now, practice is over. Fernando Alonso takes P1, which is a bit surprising. Wasn't expecting that. Also, Max Verstappen. I was going to say done that lap on the hards, but he definitely didn't. That's just what tyre he's on now. So, Ferraris look good. Verstappen looks good, as per usual. McLaren's, it's alright, not bad, not great, not bad, kind of just there. No real surprises, really. Russell and Anthony being quite far down is a bit of a surprise, and apart from that, it all looks fairly normal, to be fair, in terms of, you know, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, and when I say Red Bull, I mean Max Verstappen. Ferrari and McLaren, Mercedes leading the way. You know, RB being kind of up there, so are Williams. Fairly normal stuff. Lewis is always strong in testing. Why do you think he can't hit the podium? Did I say that? I don't think I said that. I think Hamilton will get a podium. My prediction for this race was Norris, Hamilton, Piastri. So, oh, I see what you mean now. I can't read. I don't know, actually. I'm not smart enough to give you a proper reason. I just say because it's an entirely new environment. He's been with the same team, the same people, the same kind of car for like 11 years. He's going to a new language, a new team, new colours, new working, new people. Everything is new. There's not a single bit of familiarity. So, I will be honest, the adjustment period is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Especially for a driver like Hamilton. Considering, you know, he's like the most successful driver in history. I thought he'd be like a bit crap for the first few races. By sort of round 5 or 6, he'd have it nailed. But here we are in round, God knows, like 18 or something. And he seems to be getting better, but it's not great. He says that he's been a lot better since the summer break. It's just the results haven't shown it yet. But, there you go. Practice 1 is over. Fernando Alonso wins, leads. I don't really know what you can say. Ferrari's looking good. You know, Leclerc and, you know, Hamilton up there. Of course, Verstappen's going to be up there. He always is. Piastri ahead of Norris. Wasn't expecting that, considering Norris was miles ahead for most of the session. And it's nice to see also Hadjar and Sainz up there. That's nice. That's good to see. Who done the most laps in the end as well? It's going to be Liam Lawson with 21 laps completed. Not bad. Also, no incidents. I think someone locked up, but for like 10 seconds, and that was it. Apart from that, a completely normal, uninterrupted session. So fair play, everyone, for not crashing, unlike Baku. Well done, Baku. And that's going to be me lot. Oh, Ben Collie says morning as I'm about to head off. To be fair, like I said, this was purely a test stream to see if the watch-along works with like the live timing and the leaderboard and things. It wasn't meant to be long. It was just meant to be practice 1. There is a very slim chance that I might be on later, doing a Porsche My Team career, or I'll do practice 2. I'm not too sure yet. We'll just have to wait and see how I'm feeling. Maybe after a cup of tea I can decide, but I'm going to head off. Sorry the stream was a lot shorter today, but like I said, it was just a test because it's practice. But from my learnings, I will say, this works, it looks good. So tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a stream of qualifying, which will of course be way more exciting because, you know, there's like meaningful going on rather than just this, which is just really boring. So yeah, thank you for watching this very, very short rendition of the, you know, the F1 Crim streams, and I'll either see you later or I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone, and yeah, I need a cup of tea really